Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be about my top 5 Zoan devil fruits. And yes, I know everyone does these, but I'm still getting the hang of talking into a mic and editing videos, so just cut me some slack. It'll help me voice my thoughts on more things, and it's also just fun to make, so just shut up and listen. Also, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the video because it helps a ton. Zoan devil fruits are separated into 3 main categories: mythical, ancient, and the normies. The way I set it up is literally just a mix of which ones I think are stronger, cooler, or just more useful than others, and just like a general mix of all that. I'm going to be starting from my least favorite and moving on up to my most. So without further ado, number 5. Inu Inu no Mi Maro Okuchi no Makami. Okuchi no Makami, which is Yamato's fruit. And of course this list is going to be mostly mythical Zoans since they're literally the most overpowered. Zoan devil fruits increase your strength and heighten your senses according to the animal your fruit is based off of, and when it comes to the mythical Zoans, they usually come with a secondary ability. And in Yamato's case, that ability is ice. Yamato's fruit is that of a wolf deity. The wolf deity is said to be a guardian of Wano, and although Yamato had plans on sailing with the Straw Hats, they decided to live like Odin and explore the island of Wano before setting sail. But in reality, Yamato understood the assignment and realized that they needed to stay there to protect Wano from strong intruders such as marines or pirates, since Wano is now low on defense, which makes the devil fruit Yamato has even that more meaningful. As the protector of Wano, the wolf deity fruit will increase the user's strength, and since a wolf is a carnivorous animal, it is assumed it also heightens the user's predatory instincts. The increased speed and power alone make this a good devil fruit, but the ice effect it has on the user is what makes this a great devil fruit. The ice effect can be used in a variety of ways. We've seen Yamato do an ice blast from their mouth and cover their weapon in ice to attack the opponent. But one of the coolest techniques this devil fruit has comes from a move called Mirror Mountain, where the user coats themselves in ice and it can be used to protect them from certain damage. And when the user uses this defensive move and gets hit, their skin will crack off like ice, revealing the actual body underneath it, similar to Sub-Zero's move in Mortal Kombat. This definitely comes in handy for battle, and I'm curious to see if Yamato can use this to protect allies from damage in the future. Moving on. Number 4, Neko Neko no Mi Model Leopard, Lucci's devil fruit. And under normal circumstances, this fruit would have just had like an honorable mention, but since we've had new revelations in the story about this fruit, it has now forced its way up onto this list. And I feel like Lucci's devil fruit is one of the Zoans we know the most about, since it was also one of the first ones ever shown in detail. It strengthens the user, matching or exceeding the raw power of a leopard, and can increase in size. Despite its bulky size, the user will have increased agility, speed, and durability while in its hybrid form. Because leopards are carnivorous animals, the user will be inherently more ferocious, and this fits Rob Lucci very well with his killer instincts and bloodlust thing he has going on. Now, it was stated back in the day that awakened Zoan users would lose control of themselves and the animals would take over the user of the fruit or something, but in Rob Lucci's case, he was able to awaken the Zoan while keeping his original personality. The fact that Rob Lucci is able to keep his consciousness in his awakened form is an ode to his strength, focus, and will. Although what probably helps him is the fact that he himself is more ferocious than the animal that encapsulates his devil fruit ability. Rob Lucci is a scary individual that has mastered his devil fruit to the max. In his awakened form, he is a slimmed down version of his hybrid form. He has an even greater strength and speed boost, and his body's kind of like a cheetah mixed with a leopard looking kind of thing. We don't know yet if his awakened form will have any other type of abilities, but the fact that Rob Lucci was able to master it to this degree makes it a top 5 Zoan to me. So moving on to number 3, one of the most loathed characters in all of One Piece was the wielder of this devil fruit, and it seems like it was wasted on this character. The Hebi no Mi Maro Yamata no Orochi could be one of the most broken devil fruits if it was wielded by a worthy user. Yamata no Orochi is based off of a hydra from Greek mythology, and the previous wielder of this fruit was Kurozomi Orochi. The main attributes of this fruit are the usual physical buffs of all the Zoans, but being a mythical Zoan, it has a very peculiar ability. The user of this fruit can have up to 8 heads, and each head counts as a separate light. So in the manga, it took them 8 different times of beheading this motherfucker just to finally kill him. In Greek mythology, the Hydra's head will continuously grow back without actually killing the Hydra until you burn the cut. And although One Piece is a different story and not all inspiration has to be parallel, I think the Yamata no Orochi might still possess that power. The reason Kaido's beheading knocked out a life instead of just regrowing one was because Haki, possibly even if he didn't visibly use armament, it could have been like King's Haki that he just always imbues his attacks. And then when the rest of the scabbards cut off his head, the whole castle was on fire, therefore burning the cuts and sealing the life away. Regardless, even if it actually didn't work that way and it only had 8 lives, that's still 7 more lives than you started with. It would be a great defensive devil fruit, allowing you to block attacks coming from different angles and potential blind spots. Offensively, the same strategy would work great and could be devastating depending on the wielder. The fact that you could survive getting beheaded multiple times could come in handy for surprise counterattacks. Right when your opponent thinks that they have defeated you, you strike them with the remaining heads. Now that the devil fruit is back in circulation, it would be nice to see a character that's actually strong wield the fruit to see what different heights they could take it to. Hopefully Oda doesn't just completely take it off the table now that Orochi's dead. So now moving on. Number 2, Katarina Devon's devil fruit, the Inu Inu no Mi model nine-tailed fox. Unfortunately, this is the Zoan that we know the least about, which is why it's not really my number 1. And also this part of the video is going to be mostly speculation about what I think would be the most likely outcome of its abilities and ways it could be used. And I'm not going to like dive super deep into it because I want to make a more in-depth video about that in the future possibly. So what we know about this devil fruit so far is that the user has the ability to physically transform themselves to someone else, and not just face but voice and clothes as well. In Japanese folklore, foxes were always depicted as being spirits with magical powers, and one of the most notable power was the ability to shapeshift into a human form, which was usually used to trick people. In most depictions of fox spirits, they tend to shapeshift into beautiful women as a way to deceive people, and this ties back to Katarina Devon because she's known for killing women who are more beautiful than her. And it's not known whether or not she has to kill the person to be able to turn into them, but I think it would be a safe assumption to make for just plot's sake, because if she can just turn into anyone after seeing them, what stops her from just turning into Blackbeard and impersonating him? What stops her from turning into Akainu and taking over the Marines? You know, what stops her from just like taking over the world and turning into Emu? And so far the only person we've seen her impersonate is dead. And if she actually had to kill the person to turn into them, she'd be able to turn into all the beautiful women that she's killed in the past to help ease her insecurities. Aside from that power, I think if we take it a step further and speculate about what maybe the power's awakening would be, or maybe more, abilities, I think maybe adding some firepower to it would be really dope, as well as she'd be able to turn her entire crew into other people, which would help for like stealth missions or just tricking the enemy. This devil fruit has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see what Oda does with this in the future. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, and honestly, if you've been listening to this video for this long, I love you. Thank you. Like and subscribe. But for number 1, Marco's devil fruit, Tori Tori no Mi model Phoenix. Not only is Marco one of the strongest pirates in the story, being the second in command in the Whitebeard pirates, but the Phoenix devil fruit has to be one of the most broken devil fruits in the entire story. A phoenix is known to be an immortal bird that resurrects from its own ashes. Marco's phoenix abilities are similar in the sense that he is basically immortal. His devil fruit lets him turn into a fire phoenix with blue flames that don't really burn or have any heat, but instead they heal. We haven't really seen a full hybrid form yet, but we've seen Marco use phoenix talons or wings on his normal body, so he's done like a mix of it, but in reality we don't really know what it looks like. Also, Marco's devil fruit has a unique ability that makes it have similar properties to that of a Logia fruit, so he's kind of like a Zoan mixed with the Logia at the same time, which is crazy. We've seen him get cut, we've seen him get shot, and attacks usually just go right through him, just like a fire Logia would. He can do this whether he's in his regular human form or in his phoenix form. So offensively, it seems like this fruit just gives Marco like a serious like strength boost. It allowed him to take on 2 Yonko commanders with ancient Zoan devil fruits at the same time. Now, it could just be that Marco is strong as fuck, which he definitely is, but he does this so effortlessly that it makes me think that the Phoenix fruit just has some serious strength behind it. Maybe it's just like the mythical class in general. And then he's also able to heal his wounds mid-battle, so we've never really seen him struggle, which in reality makes it hard to believe that anyone could defeat Marco if he actually tries. So although his flames don't really have any heat or are able to like burn anyone, we've seen him definitely use his like flames on Prometheus, and Prometheus was hurt. And Prometheus is literally fire. Okay, so although his flames don't have any heat to burn anyone, there is something about them that will hurt even fire entities. Now, defensively, he's not only able to protect himself from damage, but he's able to spread his blue flames to his allies to heal them mid-battle as well. It proved to even slow down the effects of the Isoni virus, proving to be versatile both in battle and in the medical room. And honestly, I think what will probably happen, and it's going to end up making this even more of a broken fruit if it is the case, but it's going to be when Marco dies. Because then we're going to be able to see if he actually gets resurrected from the flames. Or maybe his flames could actually bring back other people from the dead. The potential this fruit has is immense and is rightly earned its spot in number 1. Again, guys, thank you for listening to this video. If you've made it this far, I love you with all of my heart. Please consider leaving a like. Please consider subscribing. I will be making more videos of this in the future, and I bid you adieu. Adieu.